course, you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Today, if you only knew what I had to go through to get this stream popping for you, man, it was tough, bro. I'm talking. It's 3 a.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, bro. Just got done in the on YouTube, man. A couple of the homies, man. I had my main man. Caleb. Shout out to Caleb Allen. Caleb Allen on YouTube assisted the homie D Pope 919 as well as Seth Rudnick in breaking down the golf slate, man. And I feel good. I'm ready to go. I've got 5 golf lines, well 6 golf lines, but one of them is the same because I got one entered in the millie, and I've got 5 others in the 20 entry max, the 550 grand. And I feel after chopping it up with the 100 Band Clan on YouTube, man, I feel like I am going to be a millionaire by the end of the weekend. That's how I feel. Them cats know what the fuck they talking about. Them cats, they combed through it with the fine tooth and broke it down, man. I feel like I know so much about golf. Like I feel like I know so much about golf, and that's the beautiful thing about that is, okay, this is homegrown. These are homegrown cats. These are dudes that you're like, yo, man, I like what you're doing in basketball. I'm gonna sign up, and they come in and they sign up, and before you know it, they're like contributing, like major contributors, helping other motherfuckers win. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I look around at the industry, man, and I look at how a lot of people that are doing well now, doing their own thing, they started with me. You know what I'm saying? You got the homie Rhino DFS doing his thing. Joined us as a subscriber. Now he's doing his own thing. You got the homie from Wise Take, Paulie D, started out, kicking it here with us in the shop. And I recently went over and enjoyed their show. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's a few more. So, and that's why this is my baby, man. It's because our little tentacles are everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I think before it's all said and done, we're gonna be like kind of like what's those one of those great, like a Bill Parcells coaching tree. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't know. People don't know that. I'd like to see the Patriots win. You know why? Because I know that Bill Belichick is really a giant. He's really from the New York Football Giants. He comes from the Giants the Bill Parcells coaching tree. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see, and I like to see that. I like to see everybody get it in, man. As long as we trying to mislead motherfuckers and steer people the wrong way, I love it. I love it. So, and I would like to say I come from Gun. That's what I would like to say, that I come from Gun, because he was the first cat that I really listened to, and I was like, yo, I want to be like that dude. Gun, fucking Josh Lloyd that does the basketball. You know what I'm saying? The awesome cat there. People that I looked up to when I first came in the game. So enough of the mushy shit. Let's go check out a little bit about what happened last night, yo. Decent night for me at this point during the season in MLB. As I roll through, yes, you can rewatch on YouTube if you want to rewatch the YouTube show, the one that the homies, the 100 Band Clan did. You can definitely go to Dexter Pope's YouTube page and go check that out. Good shit on there. He's probably making his golf lineups right now. So last night, it didn't do incredibly well, but at this point in MLB season, man, I'm just glad that I'm over the cash line and I didn't lose anything. You know what I mean? Had a decent one, okay? So we talked about who the gang stack was, of course, my New York Yankees, and I was on them all day. And funny thing, I told this story a few minutes ago. The homie ACP the Don, man, 100 Band Clan representative. This dude, we were in the shop in the line drive, and we were chopping it up. And you might think when we get into the line drive, it's just me telling everybody who they should play, but no, it is a chop up. It's a chop up, and usually it's like 80 people inside of there, and everybody is sharing their information, being honest, being candid about who they're playing, telling us who they like, really, honest DFS talk. And every once in a while, a couple of people step up and they're like, yo, this is what we should do. This is what we should do. And 2 of them today really turned my whole day around. When Paul Harless was like, yo, Miller, pray, I don't care what you do, the cheap jack of the day, because I was about to tell everybody who my cheap jack was, because every day I like to pick a guy 4K or less that I am sure is going to hit a jack. And Paul Harless was like, no, Mo, let me do the cheap jack. Today, Brad Miller. You gotta play him. And I was like, but it's a dude, another dude knows what he's talking about. So I played him, and he went off. He did the thing. He did the thing. Then we scrolling, we looking through, and I'm chopping up numbers and going through shit. And then ACP, the Don, is like, yo, you need to go back and look at Washington. I think you might have missed something. So we all go back. Well, I'm the maestro. I'm steering the wheel. I go back and I look and I pull up the stats because it's a live stream. Just like this, we can all, chop it up. So I pull up the Washington shit, and I'm like, yo, wait a minute. Because they were playing Conley. Conley's a lefty, right? Weren't they? They were at home against lefties, I think. The Nats. And it was some situation where they just seemed to be pretty good, whatever situation was last night. And we were like, damn, I missed that. I missed that. I had no idea because I liked the Astros, the Yankees, the Toronto Blue Jays, and I did want to have some exposure to who else was I had? Toronto, Milwaukee, Yankees, and Houston. Those are the four teams that I liked. And after he said that, I looked at Washington. Next thing you know, man, I started building Washington stacks right then and there. Washington and Yankee stacks. And that was my very best lineup. Scored 140 points, helped me to get all of my bread back, and then some. The best part about that line, I think I got it here. Let me see if I got it pulled up. Pulled up. Yeah. This is it. Because pitching was horrible, bro. Pitching sucked for me today. I don't think I had one good pitcher in all of my lines. None. I didn't have any good pitchers. And I had Mike Leake, McHugh, who I like to bite the chalk somewhere. I knew nobody would want to play Mike Leake. I knew that. And see me, I'm not a type of cat who I don't say, oh my God, these guys are gonna be chalky, so I can't play them. For me, if I think it's a good play, it's a good play. If I think it's a good play, I think it's a good play. I don't really focus so much on ownership that it would take me off of a guy or put me onto a guy. And what I like to do is I felt like McHugh was going to be a good play, just like most motherfuckers did. 45% of us in this specific tournament thought that McHugh was going to be a good play. He turned out not to be. And Mike Leake, nobody was on Mike Leake. And for damn certain, nobody should have been on Mike Leake because at 3.8% owned, he was in position for me. The motherfucker only had 6 points. Horrible. But the stack that I made, you had Sanchez hit the jack. Zimmerman went ham. Sanchez from Washington, great game. Rendon kind of let me down. Didi was nice. Gardner, decent. Harper was pretty good. Judge sucked a dick. So you should have hollered, Mo. I had Verlander and Wojciechowski and Denver. And see, and the funny thing is somebody else in the group was like, yo, I think I like Verlander. Look who I walked in. Everybody. That's two nights in a row. 2 nights in a row. The homie, Edwin Neves, our resident White Sox enthusiast, has kicked down the door. He's talking shit. He's slapping people, choking babies, kicking dogs. He's going ham right now because for the second day in a row, his Chicago White Sox, against all odds, after selling off the entire squad, getting rid of everybody, selling furniture. They were trading the furniture, the White Sox they were, selling everything, selling it all. After giving it all away, they've won their second game in a row and spanked the dog shit out of the best team, the hottest team in baseball. And you're costing me money, brother. You're costing me money because you got to let us know when these things happen. Shout out to the homie Edwin Neves. Shout out to the Chicago White Sox. But I'm telling you, the Stros going to stroke y'all ass today. All right, so this is my best lineup. 140.85 was what I went for. And it was decent, man. I ain't mad about it. That's from Sale Cuba the other night. So let's go ahead. We're getting back into it. The Yankees gang stack, of course. Looking at some studs and duds. You had Ryan Zimmerman, 48 DraftKings points. Kinsler went ham with 36. Todd Frazier, of course, from the Yankees. Dozier, his second awesome game in a row. He had a grand slam the night before, went ham just now. Nelson Cruz, who saved us in the early, had a lot of him. Then you had Didi, CJ Cron, who was a decent play. Looking at some pitching studs of the day. Verlander, worth the price of admission, man. 31 DraftKings points, very solid. Madison Bumgarner from the earlies was very decent. Martin Perez, who the fuck saw that come? Martin Perez, really nice one. Trevor Bauer, we all were on Bauer in that spot. Bartolo Colon with 26, bro. That was nutty. And the one thing that should have put us, or that could have put us, not should have, the one thing that could have put us on Bartolo was the fact that Milwaukee Brewers were sporting a 27% K rate. And I myself just did not feel that he was a good enough pitcher to exploit that. He was Gio Gonzalez was outscored by Bartolo Colon. 24.95 for him. Very solid game there. Then we had Miguel Gonzalez, a really nice game for him. So very, very interesting slate, man, pitching. And these are some of the duds we have for pitcher. Ivan Nova, 4.5, got hit up. Jarrell Cotton, we didn't love him. Montero at all. Nick Tevish was the guy that we were not on. No Mike Conley. Colin McHugh really, really pissed me off. And then, of course, Trevor Cahill at negative 4.15 was bad. So let's go ahead and jump into today's slate. But first, before we do that, I want you to take a trip with me over to RotoQL, man. Very solid site. If you want to check it out, I think it'll be very good for you. Don't worry, I'll test it out for you first. Let me use it the first couple of weeks of preseason, and then I'll let you know how it does, how I like it. I'll keep you abreast to it. I loved it for MLB. I mean, for NBA. I'm loving it for MLB. This is my first time using it going into the NFL season. Let me try it out. I'll report back to you, let you know. They've already got some stuff up here. And this is just in terms of, preseason, but they're not doing any preseason stuff. They're kind of letting you know that the projections and the charts will be updated for NFL preseason slates. Will not be, excuse me. But in order to play the preseason contest, you got to build your other lineups using other sources. And the projections, news, and updates too will be released only for the regular season. So, but still, I'm gonna be using this as a template. Spoke to the homie Justin Park, man. He thinks it's cool with me. It's cool with him. So I'm gonna be using this as a template when I talk about the games for the week for this next 4 weeks preseason. That way, I'll have that, and I'll have kind of a sticking point to go to. Golf is really good. I built me some golf lines, man. I really like them using the Roto QL optimization feature. I like that. So that's all. That's all good. I'm waiting for this golf tournament to start too. I'm ready. Are we doing the same thing like the line drive for MLB for NFL? Yes, but we're gonna be doing it a little bit more frequently because I'm gonna have more time to actually. I'm gonna have a lot more time to actually break down each specific play, okay, and each specific game, and it's gonna take a lot of game theory and really chopping it up to approach NFL the way we want to. Like we're really gonna have to chop it up a lot more. Where I can just do a line drive one time during the day, but we're gonna be really, 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 really chopping it up. Had only been on labs for me the longest. Gotcha. We're gonna really chop this up. And that's why I've been looking for a co-host, man. And see, and what I want from a co-host, I want a guy who is thinking about making a side career in DFS, kind of like me. Like I still have a day job. I'm a barber during the day, but at the same time, man, I do this way more than I do barbering. This is like the joy in my career is DFS, and I want to find somebody like that. Hopefully, a guy that does articles that wants to use the sweatshop as kind of a launching point. Because we've already got a really massive YouTube following, I would say, for what we do. I believe I'm over 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. The family is pretty big, and all of the other indie sites maybe have 1,000 here, 1,000 there. But what I think it is all of them follow me. You know what I mean? But they've got 1,000 here, 2,000 here, 1,000 here. So I'm looking for a guy to come on and help, man. And you're gonna have a really massive audience to soak up whatever you want to put out. I hope that your views are not my views. We can chop it up, have some banter. So I am looking for somebody to come in and help me out. And I would prefer it be an article guy as well, a guy that writes articles, a guy that has a really solid and commanding presence on the screen. Hopefully, I can find that. But let's go ahead and chop up the slate. We're going MLB. I'm just gonna skip over the 2 games from the early. Do with that what you want. I ain't rocking with it. I'm jumping straight in to this 10 game slate. And the reason why is because I want you to look and see that this is a pretty solid pitching slate. This is a pretty solid pitching slate. I kind of like it, and I think it may be it might kind of hit folks with the okey doke because I know one of the things in DFS, man, and in life in general, is if if something happens, if something happens, and the results are phenomenal, like the other day, Kluber Sale, oh my God, it was great. This dude played Kluber Sale and he scored 290 points and he won all the money. When that happens, right, the very next slate is set up the same way, and you roll with that, you chase that. So you play DeGrom and Paxton, and you build a lineup and you shit the bed because DeGrom scores 25, Paxton scores 30, and the rest of your team, the cheap chalk doesn't go off, and you end up scoring 74 points. You see what I'm saying? So we need to see if this is going to be one of those slates where we can, where we have to even think about doing that, because there was a certain point in the day. There was a certain point in the day when I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute, this is a Kluber Sale joint. Kluber Sale is my favorite pitcher on the slate, and I don't know if I'm going to be feeling that way today. So we got at the top Jake DeGrom, James Paxton, Danny Salazar, Yu Darvish, Sonny Gray, Brad Peacock, Zach Davies, Lance Lynn, Vince Velasquez, Tanner Rourke, and Carlos Rodon. Follow at the bottom, you got cats like Strelly Estrada, Wade Molly, Chris Smith. You're scraping, baby. Blake Snell is the cheapest pitcher on the slate at 5.3. So let's go ahead, man. We're gonna chop it up, jump straight into the MLB slate. And what we're gonna do, man, we're gonna be looking at park factors. We're gonna be looking at what the pitchers have done in the past few starts. Just everything that we can, because this is what the first class is about. The first class is about us, and we also gonna be checking out home road splits, as Jeremy Laddis alluded to, talking about Zach Davies being bad at home. Let's pop it open, jump right in, man. First game on the slate is going to be the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies. We got Jake DeGrom, 12.7, Vince Velasquez at 7.7, and I'll pop the top on DeGrom here. 16 in his last start against the Dodgers, 25 against Seattle, 29 against San Diego, 18 against St. Louis, and 39 against Colorado. Those are his last 5 starts. Now, has he had a start this year against the Mets? No, I would have thought. Against Philadelphia, has he? Yeah, I think he should have. Okay, yeah. His first start against them away was in Philly, only 10.7. So this and his last start, 39.35. But that was at home. And I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Philadelphia, they hit the shit out of the ball at Citizens Bank Park. I'm telling you. Let's take a look at the park factor in that spot. Actually, we have that. Yeah, let's take a look at the park factor in that spot. Citizens Bank, a lot more friendly to hitters than you might think, man. For every 100 runs around the league, you're going to get 101 produced here. Also, for every 100 homers hit, you're going to get 117 here. So that's a park factor of plus 109. Very decent. This is an extreme hitter's park. We look at what the Philadelphia Phillies have been doing lately. They've been hitting pretty well. I'm going to take a look at where they've been over the last month in terms of being at home versus righties. We're talking about the Philadelphia Phillies, and look where they are, bro. Oh my God. Ooh, ooh. Now see this right here? This right here? Okay. I'm gonna explain to you right now how this game right here, whoever wins all the money has one of two things from this game. Either they have DeGrom because of this 24.6% K rate, or they have the Philadelphia Bats because of not only this 238 ISO, second best in this situation, but a 359 WOBA as well. The Philadelphia Phillies ain't no joke at the crib. Now, that for me, just look at this. This is the front runner for the pivot game of the day. I'm talking about the spot where if you don't have DeGrom, that means you like some Philadelphia Bats. Think about it. Think about it. Because the team that strikes out 24% of the time against, and I'm gonna pull this up because we're going to Fangraphs, man. Use it if you like it. Fangraphs is some dope shit. They even have a podcast that's pretty sweet too. I'm gonna pull DeGrom up, and I'm gonna take a look at the splits, okay? And I want you to get a good idea of what you can expect. Now, against lefties, 306 WOBA, 277 against righties. This is on the season. In 63 innings pitched, he's given up a 306 WOBA to lefties and a 277 WOBA to righties in 81 innings pitched, right? So let's take a look. Okay. That is, ooh, man. That is nice. That 24.6% K rate. Either this team is gonna strike out, either he's gonna mow them all down, or they're going to hit him the fuck up. One of those things are gonna happen, guaranteed. One of those things are gonna happen. And for me, I'm gonna be on both sides. For every lineup I have with Degrom, I'm gonna have one with some Philadelphia bat exposure. Most certainly, most certainly. So he is, for me, he is going to be in play for me for the simple fact that this team does strike out a lot. And, this guy is an ace pitcher. So I am going to have some exposure. Let's take a look at some of the home road splits and see what he does, see how he performs on the road. We've got him the last game away, 25.3. That was against Seattle. Before that, 29.8 against San Diego. Before that, against St. Louis, 16.95. But he's had some way better games at home. The 39 against Philadelphia last time was at Citi Field, but away against San Fran in another pitcher's park, 31 points. Away at Texas, -9. Texas hit him up in that spot. Away against Pittsburgh, 36, another pitcher's park situation. So DeGrom is DeGrom. DeGrom is DeGrom. But for me, every lineup that you have with DeGrom, I think you should have another lineup with some well, I'm gonna have some exposure to the Philadelphia bats. If you don't like DeGrom, that means you love Philadelphia. If you hate Philadelphia, that means you really like DeGrom in the spot. That's just my take on it. On the other side, Vincent Velasquez at 7.7. Not the guy that I'm jumping over the gym to get with. Let's take a look at what the Mets do on the road versus righties. This could be surprising, man. Yeah, 146 ISO, 294 WOBA, a 20.8% K rate. And what these numbers mean is that while they don't, get on base all the time, the 294 WOBA, the sub 300 WOBA, it doesn't mean that, the weighted on base average isn't great. The 146 ISO means that there's a couple of guys that can also, and he struck out 12 that time in Philadelphia. That's coming from Edwin Neves, talking about the homie, DeGrom. What I'm saying about this is that 146 ISO does mean that you can grab some of the Mets power. Now they did lose. I believe they did lose a bat. Was it Jay Bruce that they lost? Because they traded somebody. They traded somebody. They just traded somebody. Did they trade Jay Bruce? I know somebody just left in the trade. I got it pulled up here somewhere. Yeah, so yeah. The Indians, yeah, Jay Bruce went to the Indians. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So this is gonna be a different order, man. It's gonna be a very yeah, Bruce is gone. It's gonna be a very different order. A lot of lefty righty matchups still gonna be at the top of the order for Vince Velasquez, which means I'm not gonna have any exposure to him. Not next game we got is the Miami Marlins and the Washington Nationals. Dan Straley at 6.6. That's a very fair price on this cat, man. He has not been horrible. Over the last two starts, 19.15, 12.1. His best start of the season came very early against San Diego. We had 37. We have not seen that guy recently. We just have not seen that guy recently. And do I want to play him against the Washington Nationals? No. Do I want to play a ton of Nats against him? No. But I do think the lefty power is going to be in play for me. Cats like Daniel Murphy, Bryce Harper is a guy I'm going to probably like. Maybe some Brian Goodwin, even Defoe if he bats up a little bit closer in the order. Tanner Rourke at 7.5. Don't love him in this spot either. I think we can see a fair amount of runs scored here. It's a 9.5 run total. Rourke over the last three starts, though 17, 13, 35.35. But you got to think, after getting your ass whipped the way the Miami Marlins did yesterday, they're going to want to come out firing on all cylinders, and they've got the bats to do it. They've got the bats to do it. In any game where Stanton doesn't hit a jack, you've got to feel confident that the next game he will. That's just the pace the dude's been on since the All-Star break. Like, he's just been lighting it up. He's just been lighting it the fuck up. So I think he's a guy that you're definitely gonna have some consideration in. Would be no Tanner Rourke for me. If I'm gonna stack anybody on this side, I would look more toward the Miami Marlins. No Straley, no Rourke. Let's move on to the next game. It is my New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays. We are at the Rogers Center, baby. Oh man, very nice place to hit. Sonny Gray, 10.9. Don't know if he's done enough yet as a Yankee to have that price tag pushed up on him. Marco Estrada at 6.5. That's tantalizing, actually. Estrada was not awesome in his last two starts, man, but 19 and 20, and he was priced very similarly to where he is now. And that was one of those was against Houston, one of those was against Chicago White Sox. The Yankees have not been particularly great recently, except that last game they had. We take a look at Toronto, and they're at home against righties. They are not bad, bro. They are not bad. Take a look here. I'm talking 18% K rate, one of the lower K rates on the slate. 191 ISO. That means they do hit for extra bases with a 333 WOBA. But don't jump on New York back to back. Yeah. Especially away, man. Oh man. Marco Estrada at 6.5. I'm gonna have some consideration for not only the bats in the spot, but maybe even Marco Estrada. Sonny Gray is gonna be really hard to get to. 10.9 for him. Let's take a look, man. I'm gonna pull up his splits. I mean, because his first game as a Yankee came against one of I believe didn't it come against one of like the better offenses in the league. Like he didn't have like a really great game. He didn't have a great game his first one. Let's take a look. Against lefties, he's given up 259. Against righties, 292. But this is an all-righty lineup, so it's tough. But let's pull up Sonny Gray. Let's take a look. Okay, his last start was against Cleveland. He had 17.3. He's only priced at 8.8. Before that, against Toronto, 27, and that was in Toronto. So he's just seen this. He just saw this. He just saw this. Didi always a green light. Yeah. I like Didi in the spot. Definitely. And you're not getting dis. Well, I mean, you're not really getting discounts. Well, you are because you got Bautista at 3.5. You got Donaldson who just hit 2 jacks the other day at 4.1. Smoke is under 5K. That you can consider that a discount. Pierce at 3.4. So these guys are pretty discounted, I would say. But Sonny Gray is a guy that I'm going to consider. Definitely, I'm going to consider Sonny Gray. I'm going to consider Marco Estrada, and we'll get back to that inside the line drive at 5. Want to be a part of that? Go to the website www.dfssweatshop.com. That is where you can be a part of the line drive at 5. Next game we got is the Cleveland Indians and the Tampa Bay Rays. Last time Salazar played, I faded him. I was like, yo, this is the time to sell high. Buy low, sell high. When he was 7.1, we were all over that. I got him there. When he went to 9.5, I was like, yes, let's do that. I love him there. The next time, 9.4, and maybe I was a homer because it was against my Yankees. I was like, this is the time to sell high and not play him and let people play 9.4 for him, and I don't have to pay that price. And the dude went out and went ham. 33.55 DraftKings points. So, am I back on the train is the question. Let's take a look at what the Tampa Bay Rays do at home versus right-handed pitching. Let's take a look. Are they that bad? Are they this bad? They're not even on the sheet. Okay, here they are. 27.5% K rate, 128 ISO, and a 280 WOBA. God, darn it. It depends on how popular I think it's going to be. I'm going to listen to some other people, and if everybody is saying how much they love it, and then Christian Barber just like hit another one. You see how horrible the Rays have been. Okay, you see how horrible the Rays have been at home versus righties since the 1st of July. But you add to that the fact that we know Tropicana is an extreme pitcher's park. Let's take a look at Salazar and see what he has done in his home road splits, okay? Away against Chicago White Sox, 26. Away against Houston, 20. Away against Toronto, 0.2, negative. But see, and a lot of this was before the injury, man. So we don't know how much of this was a part of the lingering effects from the injury. The only game that he's played away since he's been back is that game against the White Sox, and he got 26.5, but that's kind of an outlier. I'm going to say Salazar's in play, bro. Salazar's in play. He's in play. He's got to be in play. Yes. On the other side, Blake Snell, the cheapest pitcher on the board at 5.3. Just for that simple reason, he's someone that I could take a look at. But let's look at what the Cleveland Indians do on the road versus left-handed pitching. I think it's not bad at all. I'm talking a 19.1% K rate, 197 ISO, 339 WOBA, and they are going to have Jay Bruce, but he's probably not going to be accruing any points. So he's probably not even going to be in the rotation there. So, yeah, I know Blake Snell for me. Give me some Danny Salazar. He's in play. Next game we got is the Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals. You got Lance Lynn 7.8, Jason Hamill at 5.8. Yo, KC Royals, man, went ham last night. Had a pretty decent play. Yo, Rudy Herter says Salazar going to be McHugh tomorrow. Uh-oh. That bold. They're making bold calls, baby. They're making bold calls. They're like in Tampa Bay already. So Kansas City, St. Louis here. This is an 8.5 run total in Busch Stadium, a very, very friendly park to pitchers. You got Jason Hamill at 5.8, Lance Lynn 7.8. Yo, in my opinion, I would look at some pitching in this spot. Maybe Lance Lynn. I think I was a little too hasty and wanting to play Mike Leake yesterday. Lance Lynn. Let's take a look at his spots. 19.9 against Cincinnati, 14 against Arizona, 20 against Colorado, 19 against the Mets, 19 against Pittsburgh, 21 against the Mets. So you mean to tell me in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yo, his last 8 starts, double digits for him in his last 8 starts, and decent double digits in his last 8 starts. You know what I mean? Against the Kansas City Royals, who on the road, I think yesterday may have been an aberration. They didn't really go off. On the road versus righties, we got to take a look at what they do, and it's not great. The Kansas City Royals strike out 19.8% of the time, only a 136 ISO with a sub 300 WOBA at 285. That's going to put Lance Lynn in play for me as a starting pitcher too. KC don't strike out against righties, and at 7.8, I'm not looking for a bunch of strikeouts from Lance Lynn. I just don't want negative points. At 7.8, I just want you to get me 15 points, get me 20, get me between 15 and 20, and we're good. And I think that can happen when you take into consideration how bad the Kansas City Royals have been on the road against righties since the 1st of July. So Lance Lynn is a guy that I am going to consider. No Jason Hamill for me. Next game we got is the Houston Astros and the Chicago White Sox. Okay, we got the Stros, baby. Are the Stros going to be stroking? That's the question of the day. I'm telling you. Yo, Brad Peacock stinks. Yo, Brad Peacock was horrible. His last start was putrid, bro. This was disgusting. 8.9. Before that, 10.3. And in 6 games before that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 games before that, he was lights out, bro. He was lights out. He was lights out. And I don't know what to do with Peacock here. Do we continue to roll with some White Sox stacks? Because we know we're going to see a ton of lefty-righty matchups at the top of the order. They're going to throw Luis Garcia, Yormer Sanchez at him, Johan Moncada. All those guys going to be throwing at him at the top of the order. Do we go there? Because he just wasn't good in his last 2 starts. Then you got Rodon, who was a K machine. Yo, Edwin Neves done said it. Edwin Neves said sweep. Edwin Neves said sweep. So that means you're gonna like some of the White Sox tomorrow. Okay, let's take a look at them because they're actually not bad. They're actually not bad. Let's take a look at the White Sox on the road versus right-handed pitching. I mean, at home versus right-handed pitching. It's not bad, and it hasn't been bad. 25.1% K rate, not awesome, but that 187 ISO with a 294 WOBA. And what this means is they're not going to hit a lot, but when they do get hits, they're going to go for extra bases with that 187 ISO. And that's usable because these guys are going to be so cheap. Yomer at 2.6, Lurie 3.4, Abreu 3.4. Like, these guys so cheap. Moncada 3.2, that when they do hit for extra bases, man, it's going to really help you out. Okay? Carlos Rodon, man, 7K for him. Let's take a look at his last couple of starts. Decent, man. 31 against Boston, 26 against Cleveland, 17 against Chicago. Has not 30 against Oakland. He hasn't seen the Houston Astros or an offense, I think, that powerful yet. So I don't know how that's going to work. But we're going to have a look at the Houston Astros on the road versus the lefties and see what they've been able to do lately. 15.8% K rate, 227 ISO with a 391 WOBA. Damn, yo, and this is prime. This is prime right here. This is prime. This is where everybody's like, damn, man, maybe the White Sox aren't as bad as we thought. I'm gonna play Carlos Rodon and shit. I'm gonna actually play a couple of those bats, and the fucking Stros stroke and steamroll them and put up 13 runs, and Brad Peacock throws 7 shutout scoreless innings. DFS, boy, DFS. Rodon doesn't play. I know. I can't do it. I can't play a pitcher against. If I lose because I don't play Carlos Rodon, then I'll lose. I can't play a pitcher against Houston Astros. especially now after coming off and getting the answer like that. I can't do it. Next game we got the Minnesota Twins and the Milwaukee Brewers. We got Zach Davies at 8.4, Kyle Gibson 5.2. Gibson not a guy on my radar at all. Zach Davies has been decent in his last couple of starts. This is a 9.5 total. Davies' last 4 starts, 21-17, 31-18, all against pretty decent offenses, man. Pittsburgh, Washington, Chicago, Tampa Bay, decent, capable offenses. So Zach Davies against the Minnesota Twins, man, is somebody I'm going to take a look at. I'm gonna show some consideration there. Remember, we are in an extremely great park. Uh, we are an extremely great park for hitting. When you look at the Milwaukee Brewers and Miller Park, so this is like the second best park for batters in the league. So be careful with playing either of the pitchers. You might want to get just some exposure to the bats, but we can come back and revisit that in the line drive. Next game, we got the 9:40 pitch out. It's going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yu Darvish 11.4, Anthony Banda 5.6. Yo, the Dodgers struggling against lefties, I think, is a thing of the past. Let's take a look here. 24.6% K rate. I get it. That's high. But a 311 ISO with a 418 WOBA. Oh, my God. In a hitter's park. Uh, mm, Give me some. I'm gonna like the Dodgers. I'm gonna like the Dodgers. I'm gonna like the Dodgers. And on the other side, the guys I'm gonna like the most are gonna be cats. The lefty righty matchups. Guys like like Jake Lamb, maybe some David Peralta. So that's gonna mean Hugh Darvish is definitely gonna be in play for me tomorrow, man. Oh man, yo, the Dodgers are gonna be nice. The Dodgers are gonna be nice tomorrow. 9.5 total. In Chase Field, man, with a ball get up out of there, 102 degrees. This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good game. I like this game. This is gonna be a good game. All right, next game we got is the Baltimore Orioles and the Oakland Athletics. Here we got Wade Miley at 6.3, Chris Smith 6K. Miley was pretty decent in his last start. Last two actually, 13 against Detroit, 17 against Texas, 6.65, -3, and the 3 games before that. But yo, the Oakland A's at the crib versus lefties. Let's take a look. 178 ISO, 337 WOBA, 23.6% K rate. That's going to put some of those cats in play for me, man. And I don't love Molly in this spot. I really don't. You got Chris Smith, 6K. Not a guy that I want to play. I would look towards some of those Baltimore bats. No pitching in this game for me. Last game on the slate is going to be Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and the Seattle Mariners. Yo, big park shift here. Safeco Field. Very good place for pitchers to let it all hang. We got James Paxton at 12.3, Tyler Skaggs 6.2. Yo, Paxton has been really solid, really solid. 24, 28, 37, 27, 28, 30. And I would call him one of the more safer pitching options on the slate. Of all the guys that you're going to be paying up for, I like James Paxton in this spot. No Tyler Skaggs for me. We look at the Seattle Mariners and what they do at home versus left-handed pitching, and they've been fairly decent, I believe. Yeah, they've been fairly decent. 155 ISO, 314 WOBA with a 22.6% K rate. We take a look at what the Los Angeles Angels do away versus left-handed pitching, and it's gonna be no surprise, man. They are bottom of the barrel, baby. 20.8% in the K rate, 0.067 ISO, horrible with a 267 WOBA. Yo, what that means is that Paxton is squarely and firmly in play as a late night hammer pitching option in a point total of 7.5. Very solid option there is going to be James Paxton. So let's take a quick look back over all of the pitching options. Of course, we are going to be Jeremy Ladd brings that up. He said he thinks Paxton's gonna get overlooked, and I think so too because he's not the signature name like Jacob deGrom. He doesn't play in the earlier games like Salazar. And you know what? With that Chicago White Sox shit going on, I think we might have a way to pay up for pitching and kind of pay down because we've got some studs. Like, okay, look at this. Okay, look at this. If you like Darvish, and if you like Darvish and Paxton, and you want to attack DeGrom, it's doable. to play Darvish, to play Paxton, attack DeGrom, and especially if you don't like Salazar too. You could say Gray is attackable in this spot. Uh, Brad Peacock, of course, is attackable with some of those White Sox guys. So, yo, there's gonna be enough value. I have a sneaky suspicion there's gonna be enough value today, excuse me, where you could pay all the way up for two pitchers, man, and still get some shit that you really like. I think that is definitely a possibility. We saw this coming with the Kluber sale joint. I mean, and I don't mean like pay all the way up to everybody at Kluber sale. I don't mean that, but I mean like, yo, I could see myself, having a Paxton Darvish line. I could see myself having a Paxton Darvish line. The Phillies are cheap, bro, and if you like them against DeGrom, it's a way to go. Brad Peacock has not been good. The White Sox have been on the roll recently. If you want to go there, you can. So I mean, let's look at some more. Let's see some more. I mean, where is it? Where is it? Where is that? Uh, okay, like if you think Salazar are gonna get hit up, you know what I'm saying? If you think Salazar are gonna get hit up, there's guys you can look at for the Tampa Bay side that you can use. So there's gonna be ways to do it, man. There's gonna be ways. I mean, is it like is it the smartest way? Uh, Hindsight 2020, we ain't gonna know until it all goes down. But there's some people you can attack with very cheap prices, bro. There is. Check it out. That's going to be everyone's downfall tomorrow, thinking they can stack Chicago White Sox and play DeGrom and another pitcher, but Philly is the value. They're going to chase the wrong stack and pitcher. It could definitely happen, bro. It could. It could. So, of course, this has been your DFS Jerusalem. You can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Thank you all in the VIP, man, for bearing with me through the stream. Much appreciation to y'all. Much love to everybody out there on YouTube, man. If you're on DraftKings, I want you to keep it 200. If you're on FanDuel, keep it 250. You're rocking with the best of DFS Jerusalem, so I know you always keep it at 300. Yo, stay tuned for some NFL stuff, man. We still got that stuff popping, man. We ready to go with it. Very solid preseason game we had last night with the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans. I told you about that Joe Webb, man. Joe Webb went out through 2 touchdowns. It was nice. And he threw them to the same motherfucker, too. Nice. So, yo, peace, man. Y'all hold it down, man. Catch me tomorrow, later on the day at 5 inside of the Line Drive. It's going to be litty. Peace. We out. Keep it 300.